Glitterbomb and Sparkpunk were one of those once-in-a-lifetime hero-villain duos. They had it all: well-matched powers, complementary colour schemes, a good sense of how to keep a fight going without causing too much collateral damage, and more than anything, they had chemistry. The mid-combat banter alone had enough energy to draw entire crowds. People loved to watch them fight because you got the sense that they loved it. They actually liked each other. It wasn't just for show either. I still remember the day of their first big showdown. Sparkpunk had swum by the bar early that morning, equal parts excited and worried. Excited because she was finally staging the big breakout heist she'd been planning for months, the one that would put her name on the map. Worried because, for all she knew, the League would send some stuffy goody two-shoes hero with no personality to shut her down without a real fight. The other villains gave her some words of encouragement, and I sent her off with a promise of a free drink after her first job, however it went. It must have been a hell of a fight, as quite the crowd of villains had gathered to welcome her when she finally returned to collect. She walked right in, still smelling of burnt ozone, and sat at the counter without a word. "How did it go?" I asked her, setting down the glass I was cleaning. The whole room fell silent with anticipation. For a moment, Sparkpunk said nothing. Then she looked up with stars in her eyes. "It was fucking awesome," she grinned, and the whole bar exploded with cheers. At the crowd's request, she regaled us with the tale of her first face-off, that this hotshot new hero named Glitterbomb had landed on the scene with a cheeky grin and a shitty pun, and just like that, all her worries had turned to dust. It was a fun night. One of my favourites since I was hired as bartender. The night Glitterbomb walked in 2 years later was not. She appeared at the door like some kind of phantom. The bar was all but dead that night, and nobody dared to try and stop her, hero though she was, as she stalked up to my counter and sat down on a stool. She didn't so much as look at me, her eyes fixed firmly on her shaking hands, as she folded them politely on the countertop. I sighed and poured her a drink, something light, and slid the glass across to her. "On the house," I murmured. She took the glass, glared at it like it would make her sick, but relented and took a sip. Setting the glass down, she stewed in her seat for a long minute, the air around her crackling like the sky before a thunderstorm, before she finally spoke. "Who did it?" she whispered, her voice shaking with rage. I shook my head. "We don't know," I said sadly. Her gaze darkened. "Somebody has to know something. If you won't tell me, I'll find out myself. Glitterbomb, listen to me. Sparkpunk, we don't think she's the only one. Nobody has heard from Clawfrog or Starscythe in days." "You don't think?" she whispered, her eyebrows rising. "It looks like somebody is taking out villains." Glitterbomb settled down, wrestling with that troubling thought for a moment. "And you have no idea who?" she finally asked. "Night Skipper has been snooping around, and it doesn't look like it's one of ours, or one of yours for that matter." "Well, it had to have been a super. Nobody else would have been able to—" The words died in her throat. "Exactly. Whoever did this, we think they're new in town. An undeclared super." It went without saying how dangerous such a person could be. Supers were required to declare themselves, hero or villain, for a reason. If a superpowered serial killer decided to stop going after the only people who could stand a chance of defending themselves, I could see on her face that Glitterbomb was coming to the same conclusion. "Let me talk to Night Skipper, then. If you guys are looking for this freak, I want to help." "Glitterbomb, I don't think that's a good idea." "What is that supposed to mean?" she hissed. "You're too close to this. I realize you're hurting, but—" "God! I don't need you to moralize to me," she cried, jumping to her feet. "What? You want me to say it? That I want to kill this guy? Of fucking course I do! They murdered her, Carlisle!" "You get kicked out of the League, kiddo." "I don't give a shit about the League. You think I want to go on being a hero without her?" Finally, the rage lost out to despair, and she crumpled back down in her seat, dropping her head into her hands. "There's so much I wanted to tell her." I let out a sigh. "I'll talk to Night Skipper. See if I can't arrange something. But, Glitterbomb, promise me you'll be careful. There's no telling if this creep won't start going after heroes too." Glitterbomb sniffed, wiped her face. "Thank you," she croaked, reaching for her drink again. I left her to finish it in silence as I started wiping down the countertop. A few minutes passed like that, the silence heavy, before Glitterbomb finally spoke up again. "I'll never know how she put up with me for so long," she muttered. "I was so green when they assigned me to her. I had no idea what I was doing. And, I know she was too, but it never seemed like it, you know? She was just so good at what she did, I could barely keep up. I used to think she must hate me." "She never hated you, kiddo." I know that now, but..." "No. Listen to me, Glitterbomb. The first day you two went at each other, she came in here looking like she'd won the lottery. Kept going on and on about how lucky she was that they gave her a hero that actually knew how to have fun. She loved you from day one, kiddo." I had intended it to be comforting, but the way Glitterbomb started tearing up again made me wonder if it was too much all at once. She pressed her knuckles against her mouth in an attempt to maintain her composure. "I should go," she finally choked out. I could do nothing but nod. Glitterbomb pushed away her glass, stood up from her stool and went to leave. At the door, she paused, as if she wanted to say one last thing, but changed her mind and walked out into the dark.